Welcome to the M6P. I'm Jared. This is Kirk. And we're going to be talking Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. So it just came out today. It's Thursday. Kirk and I are like, we're the Thursday night guys when a Marvel movie comes out. He also sees some of the DC movies. I don't know why, but it's cool. It's all good. So Kirk, man, how you doing?
Good, man. How's things going with you?
Good. Just literally just got out of the theater about 20 minutes ago and wanted to get our review up here and see kind of maybe what you thought about the show.
Yeah, I saw it earlier than you. I thought about spoiling it, but I'm not that big of a jerk, so.
I almost temporarily muted you on my phone. I'm like when I see these, like I don't even want to see like headlines that say Eternals was great or Eternals was terrible. I just want to go in with my own everything.
Right. Yeah,
and
that's a good idea.
That trailer at the end of last week that they released that showed some spoilers really did a number on my brain.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I saw like different pictures and stuff people posted. I'm like, I don't know. Like when I was watching the movie, I was thinking like, why did they put some of this in the trailer? Like, it would have been so much cooler just to like see it for the first time,
Right.
So
yeah, so if you're watching this and you don't know yet, we're going to be talking spoilers. So you can stop.
Good. Thanks for
stop
clarifying.
Right now. Yeah, you can stop right now. We're going to be spoiling everything. But so maybe on a scale, what'd you think, 1 to 10, and why?
I'll give this a 6-8.
6? Oh, we're doing the point system. Okay, 6 points. Okay.
I think you have to include decimals when you do like all these movies now, since there's so many. So I feel like this was kind of like definitely like their mid tier as far as the movies go. I was entertained. Like it was an entertaining movie. I feel like by far the best part was the whole Illuminati we knew Professor Xavier was going to be there, which is ridiculous. Like we kind of mentioned before that was even in the trailer. But the whole Reed Richards Fantastic Four was pretty sweet. I was not expecting that at all. I also like that Black Bolt was there too, albeit, they were all there for not very long. So I don't know what's going to happen with all that. But it was just cool that, people have been speculating for a long time that Black Bolt is going to be in a film, and also Fantastic Four was just a matter of time. So that was by far the coolest part. I felt like on a lot of levels, like I had heard like this was going to be a horror movie, so I was really I knew that going in, but I was surprised at how like violent and like gruesome it was at times. Like it was so uncharacteristic of a Marvel film, so it just kind of like that aspect was a lot different for me. I don't know. I'll let you go. You go ahead. You go next.
Yeah, I think I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. I agree with everything that you said. There were definitely I thought this was really the Scarlet Witch movie with guest star Doctor Strange is what I really liked about it. I think she stole Elizabeth Olsen, like get that girl an Oscar. Like she just worked the heck out of that part. And I was when she battled Carmitage, that was probably the best part of the movie, even more than the Illuminati for me. She was just like a lot of the superhero movies, they can never really figure out flying. It always kind of looks like they're on strings or their feet or like they're standing, and we can tell that you just green screen them and they're standing in the air. But this was really, I thought they did a great job with her. It looked like she was flying around, shooting her hex bolts and just, laying waste to all of them. So I really enjoyed that. But then the second favorite part was the Illuminati. And I thought it was cool that they teased Professor X during the Super Bowl. Like we heard his voice and I was like, wait, what? But I hated that I was spoiled by seeing the yellow hover chair in that trailer. That really bummed me out. Mr. Fantastic, I screamed in the theater, and I might have peed a little bit. Like it might have been a little wet in my seat. I looked at Jennifer and my wife, and I just, oh my gosh! And it was John Krasinski. Like, who doesn't want him to be Mr. Fantastic? Nobody, Oh, and then Black Bolt was Anson Mounts, who played Black Bolt in the Inhumans ABC TV show, which was terrible, but they brought him back, to redeem him, only for his brain to explode.
Yeah, that was like, holy crap.
I mean, I love me a good What If. Like, What If was one of my favorite comic books growing up. So to see these other universes, with the Ultron robots and all that fun stuff was just, I really, really love that. That was fun.
Yeah. I felt like the plot was like sometimes overly complicated, but also like overly simplistic at times as well. And it just like, for me, I just kind of got a little annoyed with the whole like Wanda's like her motivation, like, oh, I don't have kids, so I'm gonna go to another universe and steal another version of these kids. I'm like, is this really like what this film is like based on? Like, I don't know. It just, to me, I just kind of was like, like I didn't really care for that storyline. But then like they're trying to explain, the multiverse and how that all stuff works, and I was like, I'm not really following. I mean, I understood it, but it was just kind of like, okay, this is a lot to take in. But so those kind of couple of things I just didn't care too much for. The whole like zombie version of him was like kind of interesting. Like at the end, like he's like a zombie, and like they're still doing the typical like Marvel jokes and things like that. And I'm like, he looks kind of ridiculous, kind of doing this. Like no disrespect, but no offense. He looks very cool. So yeah, so those kind of a couple of things like kind of knocked it down quite a bit for me. But kind of going back to the Illuminati stuff, like I feel like it's a little disappointing that they just killed them all off like so quickly, because to me, I think they just did that whole John Krasinski thing just to get him in a film and just kind of be done with it. Because it just, to me, they just killed all those people off they're not probably going to be, and like he's not actually going to be Mr. Fantastic, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's how I kind of feel. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I just feel like it was just kind of probably like a throwaway thing for all those different characters personally. But could be completely wrong. That could be him, but who knows? So
yeah, I mean, I hope you're wrong. I really hope that this was
I do
just
too.
like,
I love him, but that's kind of how it felt to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at every fan list ever made of who they want to play, it's him and Emily Blunt to play Invisible. Right.
Right.
And I mean, he's done a couple interviews where he's like, yeah, I'd be open to it or whatever. And everything that I read says that she just doesn't want to commit to, 15 movies. And he's like, I'm in, it's steady work. I'll do it.
Right.
She enjoys, being home with the kids and not being, in Atlanta for 6 months out of the year. I totally understand. But I don't care, because that's who I want, So
yeah.
Who
cares about your family?
Yeah, here's the paycheck. Shut up.
Right.
To work. Speaking of that end stuff, I don't do demon stuff. I don't like that. And so when he was possessed, that was the third act was very much a disappointment for me. And that's why I went into this. I remember when Kevin Feige announced it at that everybody was in quarantine, and they did that online Disney preview for the next 3 years. And he said, in the multiverse of madness. And I looked at Jennifer and was like, are you kidding me? Like, we're going to get the multiverse. So this has definitely been my most anticipated movie since that came out. So I was really looking forward to this. And I wanted this to be like a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. But the third act, I feel like it just drug it down. That he needed to possess a dead version of himself. But the rules are, when you possess a dead version of yourself, the demons come and you have eternal issues with that. I don't need that in my Marvel movie. I just don't. This isn't Ghost Rider. This isn't The Passion of the Christ. I don't need the demonic stuff. I was like, just possess Wong, or, poor Wong. He's the sorcerer supreme, but he plays third fiddle to Doctor Strange and the Ancient One. He's always, and he's running this like fight club in Shang-Chi. What kind of sorcerer supreme are you, man? Like, come on up and let Doctor Strange possess you.
Yeah. I don't know I think you were at the Cincinnati Comic-Con a few years back, and he was there, and he was like so casual. He was like wearing like sweats and stuff like that. Kind of looked like he just rolled out of bed. So I mean, maybe that's like why they're treating him like that, is just because like he dresses for like how he actually is in like the MCU. He's like a third tier character in like real life. So like, yeah, we're not going to give this guy a lot of responsibility because he wears sweats to comic conventions, that kind of thing. But
but don't make him the Sorcerer Supreme then. Give it to Doctor
yeah,
Strange.
yeah. The whole time you're like, this guy isn't the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, I don't know why they keep calling him that. It doesn't make any sense. But so one thing I want to ask you, maybe you can shed some light on this. I didn't understand anything at the end, like the third eye thing. Was that other version of him who's still alive or take over his body, and then also like the second end credit scene with Charlize Theron or whatever. I don't know who she was, what they were doing. Like, do you know anything about that? Or
Yeah, so when you use the Darkhold, there are more consequences than just I'm done with it. And
right.
It looks like Doctor Strange is getting that. That is
Okay.
there's a little bit more. This could be, this could be Chthon. Chthon is an evil character that's connected to the Darkhold in the comic books, and if you touch the Darkhold, typically he shows up at some point in time. So that's my assumption, and and that was another part I hated too. I don't do the third eye. That's a whole biblical thing. I don't do that kind of stuff. So I hated that. But yeah, Charlize Theron, she was playing Clea, and Clea is from the comic books. She's been Doctor Strange's lover at times, and oftentimes not. But she's also a sorcerer. She has a lot of powers. And in the current run of comic books, Doctor Strange is dead, and Clea is actually the Sorcerer Supreme. So that was a big surprise. Everybody thought that an alternate version of Rachel Lee Adams was gonna, Rachel was gonna become Clea, and that's what I was really expecting. So then when Charlize Theron shows up in purple spandex, I'm like, oh, okay, well, what?
Maybe Rachel's, that character in another multiverse. You never know. So,
yeah. But I'm wondering where are they going next? Where do we see Doctor Strange? And
no idea. Adventure? Yeah, it's like I have not a clue what's happening next in this franchise. So,
yeah, I'm not seeing anything on the slate coming up that he would show up in, Guardians or Thor or Captain or the Marvels.
Well, you might. I don't know if you saw this. I think it was yesterday, the day before. I read that Benedict is taking a break from acting for a little bit. So I don't think. I mean, I guess to me that means it'll probably be a 2 to 3 years before we see him in something else. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to take a break, then come back and film the movie. Like that's going to take some time. So you're probably looking at like a 3-year window. So, but yeah, I read that yesterday that he wanted to kind of take a break for a little bit. So
I thought it was interesting. So in the comic books during Secret War, what causes Secret War is all the incursions of the various multiverse planets, and there's a big explosion, and then there's just one place called Battle World, and it's different places from all the multiverse on this one place, and Doctor Doom rules it. It's a sweet, sweet book. But I noticed like they were using the word incursions, and some of the different multiverses were like falling apart. And Mikey Sutton is kind of like the rumor guy, and he always is like tip top on the rumors. And he has been saying for years that they're building towards Secret War, and they want to have the Russo brothers do it. And I feel like this kind of gave some evidence that could be coming down the line, and that's how we could get people to play Iron Man again, and people to play Captain America or Doctor Strange or something like that.
Yeah, I might be thinking of something else, but aren't they making a Disney Plus series about that, or is that something different?
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. I knew it was Secret something. But yeah,
everything's a secret.
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone knows about it apparently. Well, yeah, that'd be a pretty cool storyline from what I know about it. So,
what did you think of America Chavez?
So, going into the movie, I had heard kind of like I didn't know much, but like I heard like she was kind of like an annoying teenager. I thought she did really well personally. Other than like maybe like the end, I felt like it was a little cheesy, like some of the ways she like delivered her lines and some of the stuff that she said. But up until that point, I thought she was a pretty good character and pretty good actress overall. So up until the end, I thought she did pretty well. So
yeah, I'm with you on the end, but I feel like she did that throughout the movie. I just kept struggling to follow her lines. Like she just had this thing with her mouth where she was like kids don't do that. Teenagers don't. Like you fall into this new world and you don't know what's happening, and there's this giant octopus with an eyeball chasing you, and you're just like, oh, woe is me. Like, you're like,
she's seen it all across the multiverse. She's used to that stuff, so
I guess so. I didn't care for her. She's not a...
It didn't. Yeah, that part didn't really bother me too much. Like I don't know. I guess I didn't really maybe read too much into it or evaluate her acting skills too much throughout the film, but other than like the end, I thought it was pretty good. But
yeah. So do you think Wanda's done for? You think this is the end of her journey?
Probably not. I mean, I don't know what would be next for her character and all that, but I mean, it's the MCU. Like no one's going to stay away, no one's going to stay dead except maybe like Tony Stark. So I mean, other than that, we'll probably see these people again, even when they're dead at some point or some other dimension or wherever she's at now.
Wondering like if she were to be alive, where does her arc go? Can she be redeemed? I mean, looking at her journey, she's had just such a tragic journey. From
Right.
Age of Ultron, she lost her brother. Then she tries to redeem herself by joining the Avengers, and she starts the Civil War, basically. Way to go.
Yeah.
Then she gets past that, and she falls in love with a robot, and she has to murder him. And then he's brought back alive to be murdered again. So she has a little bit of a snap, and she just creates her own reality, and then has to get rid of her children. And then she kills all these people in Carmitage and brings down a mountain, and she goes after this kid, and she's like, how do you redeem that character? I feel like this is probably the fitting end to be done with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't really surprise me either. I kind of wonder if she's, in another film that like the redeeming quality will be like, or they'll just say like, oh, she was under this, Darkhold control or whatever. That wasn't really her. And then we have to feel sorry for her again that she's trapped, inside this demon possessed body or whatever, whatever the case is. So I think maybe that, but yeah, I have not a clue what's going to be next or how they're going to redeem all the crazy stuff that she's done up to this point from all the crazy stuff that's happened to her too. So
is this one that you go back to see in the theater?
I was asking myself that when I was walking out. I think for me, I was entertained enough to go back. It also helps that there's really like nothing else I would like to see in theaters right now too. But yeah, I would probably go back again. I mean, it's nothing where I'm just like, oh crap, like I need to go tomorrow when I get off work again. But I think it was entertaining enough, and like the cool cameos and stuff like that were cool enough to be like, oh yeah, I'd like to go back again, maybe experience it with another audience and hear their reaction and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, are you gonna go back to this one?
I could probably see like doing a $5 Tuesday for this. I don't want to pay another $8,000 to go see it Thursday night.
Right.
I think what I want to see is a Captain Carter movie, though. I think that's what I would like to see. I really enjoyed her 4 minutes that she was on screen, though.
Right. Yeah.
That's great. She was awesome.
Yeah, unpopular opinion. I actually kind of liked the ABC show that they did back in the day with her. Yeah. I know the second season wasn't that great. Like the first season was definitely the stronger season, but I thought it was interesting enough, and she was a cool enough character to kind of continue on with that. So it's cool seeing her back on the big screen, kind of in a different, role, I guess. But so yeah, she was pretty cool. I liked her a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you. First season was great. And sometimes you just need to stop at one. Just have one season of something and just leave it. But ABC was like, we're going to have 13 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, no, stop.
I remember distinctly in the final episode of the second season, like, they must have had, like, budget cuts because there was clearly, like, just, like, cardboard, like, backgrounds. Like, you could tell it wasn't, like, a real... And I'm just, okay. Like, I understand this maybe isn't your top money maker, but let's get up a little bit more money to this maybe. But Oh gosh.
So Captain Kirk, how can we check out what you got going on?
Well, Jared, I'm really glad that you asked that, because tomorrow your viewers aren't going to want to miss this, because not only on my channel, Captain Kirk Productions, are we going to be unboxing an Ultimate Fallout number 4. We're going to be unboxing 2 Ultimate Fallout number 4s, fresh back from grading. It's going to be epic.
Nice. Now, and why is Ultimate Fallout number 4 so big?
Well, as you might know, Ultimate Fallout number 4 is the first appearance of none other than Miles Morales, which only a matter of time before he's on the big screen and we get to talk about his movie. I mean, other than the Spider-Verse, which was cool, and those movies are coming out as well. But live action, it's just a matter of time. So his first appearance, I never owned it, but now I own 2. So you got to go big on Captain Kirk Productions channel, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put it in the links down below. Absolutely. That's awesome. Cool. Looking forward to that. Well, we'll get this posted and check that out. So hope you guys are able to check out Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. Let us know what you think too. Do you agree with Kirk and I? We are usually always right. So hopefully you do. But if not, put it in the comments what you don't agree with. Otherwise, check us out on all things the M6P. Till then, make yours the M6P.